Caners worldwide, it is Caner Tip Tuesday, and today an overlooked but super important topic, and that is what to do before a fight actually breaks out, increasing the probability not just of surviving, but really how well you fare, because we want to minimize injury. Before we get started, a warm welcome to those of you who are here for the first time. Go ahead, and if you like the content, two things to do straight off the bat: hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any future content, and avail yourself of the number one resource, whether you're just getting started or maybe you've been doing this for a while, but you're not really seeing the progress, or you want to explore and see if there are other possibilities when it comes to cane training and anything related to the cane culture. Really, text the letter CCC for Cane Clarity Call. It's a no-cost service to you. Text it to 305-745-7839. And in less than 24 hours, we will go ahead and schedule you, have a conversation, and give you an actual blueprint, a plan that really is functional so that you can attain your cane goals and have all your questions answered. Before this everybody demonstrates the application, the technique, but I'm here to tell you that what ensues just before an altercation can make the difference how well you fare. And I always say that the best form of self-defense involves zero body contact. And so I'm going to focus in on three areas. And the first one of those, there are times, I'll preface by saying this, there are times where you don't get an opportunity, really, for instance, to get into verbals. Many times, something starts brewing and it starts escalating, and it often begins with verbals. But what I'm referring to here isn't where you have this situation, he just comes up to you with a tackle or grabs over and just takes you in here, and you didn't see this coming, right? The worst attack is the one you don't see coming, and I'll elaborate on that. But this is one where maybe there's an altercation here, something happened, and it's unbeknownst to you. You have no idea that you're even in an altercation, and he'll say something, and it could be a parking lot scenario.
Hey man, what's up? You just took my parking spot.
Hey man, what's up? You just took my parking spot. And so how you respond to that can make a difference here. So he says, hey, you just took my parking spot. And if I come back and I give him a testosterone response, right? And I say, well, hey man, you know what? I don't see your name written on that. And that's just going to, is that really trying to water things down? That's just going to lead to escalating. And that's not the way you want to do it with ACSD. And so rather than giving you, and I do recommend that you have some sort of script, something that you've thought about before you go in here. But I'm going to give you two phrases that are effective. They're two of the most powerful phrases in English. You can communicate this to them to water this whole thing down. And the first one is, are you ready? Is "you're right." That's the first one, and that's a tough one to say. And number two is "I'm sorry." Both of those are challenging at times, but you got to keep that that ego, and you got to keep that puppy locked up. He says, "Hey,
Hey, you just took my parking spot. What's up, man?"
Oh my gosh, you know what? You're right. I'm so sorry. I don't know where my mind is today. And you can see that I'm creating a distance, man. I'm so sorry. Thank you for your understanding today. And I start creating distance. Notice I don't turn my back and walk away from this, because I need to see where he's at. And that ties into concept number two. But I want to emphasize the power of verbals. Verbals can be your best ally in a self-defense situation. If you have an opportunity to use them, and and you're trained to use them, it can completely disarm and water this thing down, because people do not expect. They either expect he's bigger, stronger, faster, that you're going to cower down. And notice the way I do it. It's very, my hands are open, and I'm talking this way, and the cane is right around here, and it ties into concept number two, but please don't overlook those verbals. Think about how you're going to respond. I have no interest. My goal is to win unscathed. I walk out of here like a cane ninja. The second is to keep everything, keep everyone as much as possible in your 10 and 2 field of vision. This sounds like it's, yeah, that's what we wanted, but not always does it happen. So if I'm here at the counter here checking out, maybe I'm at a sandwich shop or whatever the case may be, and I see, for whatever reason, this fellow here, there's nobody else here, and he's just acting kind of funny. See how the swaying back and forth, and maybe he's looked at me. I need to see where he's at. If I'm in that bank, and we're in Miami. Miami's hot, 80, 90 degree weather in the midst of summer. He's coming in here with a hoodie on, right? I'm not sticking around for this. I'm out. I know where my exits are. I'm out of here. But keeping him in your 10 and 2 field of vision, I see him here, but the minute he does this and he starts moving back, I don't see him there anymore. He's away from my 10 and 2 field of vision. So we have an exercise that you can do, and that is called tracking. And if I'm over here, he moves, I have to position myself to where I can still see him. And if he does move in and close the gap, or there's an attack, or there's something, I can go ahead and respond to that. Because again, the worst type of attack is the one you don't see coming. So I also don't stand in such a way that says, I'm ready to fight. And this ties into your verbals. Let's go back now. He says, whatever he says to me, hey man,
Hey, what's your problem, man?
Yeah, hey man, you know what? I don't want to fight, but if I say I don't want to fight, and I do something like this, and I say, I don't want to fight, well, this stance is saying that even though I'm saying I don't want to fight, I am in a stance ready to go. And ACSD doesn't have anything like that. We're very comfortable in what we call a passive ready stance, which that's what we're covering next. He's coming in here, he's moving, I got to tilt a little bit, right? I got to tilt over here. I have to keep him, and it's very simple to remember what's good for you. The answer is 10 and 2, meaning keeping him in at 10 and 2, because the most effective targeting happens away from your 10 and 2. It's the one you don't see coming. So if he's kind of funny, just a simple quarter pivot goes a long way in giving you the best opportunity to respond here if something does ensue. And then the last concept, along with your verbals, keeping everyone in your 10 and 2 field of vision, is to go ahead and be in a prepared, we call it passive ready, because it looks passive, but I'm actually ready to explode from any distance. And what that simply means is that I don't trust myself with my cane down here. Guys, if you don't feel comfortable, I don't care wherever you are, he's looking over there, that cane has to come up at least to right here, where if anything happens, he moves, I can go ahead and catch it. I'm not gonna be able to do it from down here. Kiko's a young guy. He's strong, he's fast. I'm telling him also on top of that I'm gonna tap him right here. Keep your hands down, and yeah, he's not going to get there. I'm not fast enough to bring this tool. You have reach to it, so it has to at least be here so that I can catch it on a steering wheel, either something here, or be able to move. So let's take a look at how all three things come into play. Verbals, keeping this potential threat in a 10 and 2. This is before we do anything. And then the stance that has to go with this. And listen, man, I don't want any problems here. You're right. Notice how I'm already in a stance here, and I'm creating distance, but not in a way that I completely think it's okay to turn my back, and there he comes, right? So I'm out here. I'm going to turn this in, and I'll show you a drill that you can do. It's essentially a tracking drill, and it has different levels to it. The first one is where I track here with him, and at some point, he doesn't tell me when. He's just gonna lunge in, bang, and there I go. Back off, strong verbals, back off, no, get away. Because that has also a psychological effect on him. It's not help, it's not oh no, it's nothing like that, right? There's strong verbals. He can come from either side. He's coming behind me. I have to do this quarter pivot. At some point, right, he doesn't tell me when. Back off! He's gonna go ahead and move into that. But and I don't need to do it in anything exaggerated. Simple quarter pivot turns we'll go ahead and do. And so you have that individual. You can do it with more than one so that you can escalate, right? Give them a code, give them a number. You don't know where they're coming to. Train yourself to respond to that. And you can even escalate that with distractors, right? And whoa, see, they tossed a balloon over here. That's how the staff likes to have fun in here. But a distractor, something else that really is not the threat per se, but it brings you to boom, and here comes the actual assault. So what happens before you spring into action? Hopefully you can water the whole thing down so that you don't have to make body contact. And that's the way we handle it. And guys, there's a whole training behind this, right? Even the simple things that I'm doing here, and they are simple, but they do require training. And to that end, if you still are not getting trained in 2022 and you're serious about this, there's nothing like a structured step-by-step system. But before you do anything, before you go to the website and enroll in anything, go ahead and text those letters CCC. Let's have a conversation to 305-745-7839. And let's find out what the best approach might be for you. And the last thing I want to leave you with is this. If you're not having fun with your caning, you're doing it wrong. And I want you to think about that. And if you don't know what's so fun about it, even more so, please reach out. We love talking to you at the 800 number. It's 800-289-8188. I'm Joe Robaina for American Cane Self-Defense. Keep caning. Stay safe.